I hear quite a bit of people talking about how, Jesus can't possibly return after thousands of years. It's been nearly 2,000 years since he was crucified. So clearly, that amount of time passing proves, in their eyes, that Christianity is therefore disproved. I understand why people say that, because that's a long time. And he said that his return would be soon. Behold, I'm coming soon. And 2,000 years or beyond isn't exactly what we would define as soon. Well, something we have to consider is that, if we're going to acknowledge that God exists, we must also acknowledge that time is flexible to him. That he is not affected by time. That he is sovereign over time. And if you go to 2 Peter 3:8, it actually describes that a day with the Lord is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as a day. So in his eyes, it hasn't even been 2 days yet. Now, he's not obviously ignorant of how time is for us, but for him, time is different. And it's also curious that in the same chapter of 2 Peter 3, where time is mentioned as being different for God, that same chapter just so happens to mention that in the last days, many scoffers and mockers would come, saying, "Where is the promise of his coming?" Almost as if it's a nod to when he would return after thousands of years. Now, whether or not that means that 2033 is going to be it or not, or the 2030s in general, I can't exactly say for certain, but I do believe that we are in the season. I do believe that that is arguably the only candidate for it to occur, because, well, if we are the body of Christ, and the body of Christ, as in Jesus' body, rose after 2 days on the morning of the third day, very early, by the way, well, then it would stand to reason that the same thing would happen for his return. That the body of Christ, the bride, would be resurrected on the third day. As in, 1,000 years is a day, 33 AD to 1033, 1 day. 1033 to 2033, 2 days. 2033 is the morning of the third day. And you should also consider as well that, well, if we were really headed towards that time, we would probably be able to see some signs, right? Well, to me, there's a whole load of signs, honestly, I believe. You could go from the Euphrates River, which is in, I think, Revelation 16 or something like that. But there's that as a normal mention. But to me, the most prominent mentions as to when we are in the biblical timeline are artificial intelligence. I'll get to it in a sec, hold on. Artificial intelligence, aliens, advanced technology, access to higher advanced forms of knowledge, and the occult becoming more accepted, the merging of religions, or at least the attempted merging of religions. Well, yes, some of these things have been, technology has been advancing for decades, right? But we haven't gotten to this point until like now. And especially with AI, like, I think we're going to see a big boom. And I believe that with all these things converging at the same time, like very strongly converging at the same time, I mean, think what all these things represent. All these things represent counterfeit superintelligence. That is the name of the game. It's gonna try to Satan is prompting a timeline where we're gonna have access to so much knowledge and probably so much abundance in the near future, where is God gonna even be in your thoughts? You already have everything. You're going to merge with machinery or something and become your own God, which is what these transhumanists are quite literally talking about. So at that point, yeah, it is battling for intelligence. A big battle for intelligence. So that's what I believe. I've got plenty of documents to go into extensive detail on this. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Have a look, and let me know if you want to see more stuff like this.